we're on the air. Let's get this chat going. Turn the volume down on this guy. Yep. Synergy. Okay. Well, I should turn that down. Arcade Radio. We have a show going on right now. I just got a reminder. Just said we went live.
Shit.
We're probably live.
Should probably show up for that.
Yeah.
Live.
Yeah.
We're doing it live.
We're doing it. We're doing it. We're doing it. We're doing it. Okay. I'm going to turn my phone stuff on so I don't get any notifications during the show. That was weird last week. It was a fun show last week. We did a little bit of call-in episode. That was cool.
Yeah, it was like a variety show.
I liked it. I think we should do it again.
You should.
Yeah, I think people would really enjoy that. I mean, I told some people about it that weren't listening in that week that are going to be listening this week. And they were pretty cool with that. So, they're like, I would call in. And I asked people to call in. You know what? I'm going to look at the...
Oh, that's on our show notes, actually. Let's give them the number now, but...
Sure. Let's do that right now.
We have to ignore them during the show, right?
Yeah. I'm going to go and look at the Google Voice right now. Just make sure that...
Apparently he sent it to me, so I'm going to put it in the Google in my little folder.
Okay.
Sorry about that. Oh, what are we talking about? Nothing?
Well, hey, I did get a call that is not... It's not... I'll play this on the air. This is going to be funny.
Okay.
It's like a 12-second message. Yep. This one was left today. Someone left us a voicemail. How kind.
Yeah.
All right, we'll look at the voicemail later. And let me get my chat open here. I got to look at the chat.
If you guys ever want to leave a voicemail, you can call us anytime, 612-548-GAME.
Yeah, and you'll notice Steve is supposed to be on the show. This is typical. But he's having some technical difficulties right now. But that's okay. Gotta love it.
Yeah, we'll work that through.
We'll work on it. If he doesn't show up, he doesn't show up. But that'd be sad because we did all that tech check like an hour ago, and he was good. A couple hours, I guess.
It's Steve.
Yeah.
Oh.
How are the chatters doing? The chatters are doing good.
Oh shit! I haven't checked this chatter.
I didn't even check my camera.
I'm gonna.
It's a little off here. There was somebody else sitting here the other day.
Oh.
I had a meeting.
What?
Yeah. That seems weird.
Okay.
Oh wait, we got a couple things you got to do here.
We do?
Let's see.
I'll put the chat.
Unprepared
Oh, I got the chat.
Ridiculous. Let's see.
Brian's been drinking, so just be prepared, chatters.
Hey, listen.
Yep, he's being obnoxious. Yeah.
I'm responding in kind.
So basically he's saying that I'm being obnoxious. But I'm not. I'm not being obnoxious. My next door neighbor's dog is obnoxious.
Dang it, that dog.
Yo, Eddie, what's up, Brian Frober? Hey, Brian, I got your email. I ordered a bunch of mailing supplies for the last 3 weeks of prizes because I don't want to go to the post office very often.
Oh my god, the post office is like the dregs of humanity.
It is. And it not only the people that are there, but the people that work there. So I bought a bunch of padded envelopes and packaging, and those will be coming this week. And I am going to get all the prizes for the last 3 weeks in the mail this week. Some of them may go out this weekend. That includes skulls, pigs, keychains, magnets, all that shit.
Nice.
So
Sweet.
Yeah, exactly. To check that out, some chatters are loving your cabarets, man.
Oh yeah, I don't want to jump ahead to what you're doing, but somebody was able to get some things shipped to me.
Nice. Yeah.
I couldn't fit one of them in here. It was just too big. That's what she said.
Okay, I'm gonna try to. I'm gonna try to
What's
add
that?
Steve one more time and see if he
See,
joins.
Jason's in the chat. He did you see he got the pie position working?
I saw it on screen. I didn't see it play.
Ah, that's cool.
It's pretty cool.
That is cool.
All
Yeah.
right.
That's it. There's a big nothing happening on that end, but it's okay. You know, even if I hope he goes home and joins from his house, because it'd be cool to see Grinkers all lit up, but his Wi-Fi's are not working.
Yes, they're very small. the mice are asleep that run his Wi-Fi.
Hello, Speedy. This is Slowpoke Rodriguez.
Oh yes.
My Wi-Fi's are not working.
Yeah.
I have something to tell you. My Wi-Fi's are not working.
That's not racist at all.
No, but neither was the cartoon, which was also
I agree.
Mel Blanc, right? I'm just emulating Mel Blanc. I'm not trying to be
Mel
racist.
Blanc, of Hispanic origin, Mel Blanc. What's happening? I got
That's
this
it.
on board the Starship Enterprise.
Oh, that is beautiful. I like that. This is in a wine glass. This is a iron butterfly.
Oh my god. I have one too, but it's in my underwear.
Do you guys know what's in an iron butterfly? Anyone know what's in an iron butterfly?
No.
It's delicious.
Okay, you're not gonna tell me? You're like, oh, it's delicious, but I'm
Oh.
not gonna tell you.
It's
Amazing.
it's
Goodbye.
Irish cream. A little bit of I put a little bit of milk so it's not so strong. Kahlua and vodka. And then you should garnish with hazelnuts, kind of like a White Russian, but it's a little stronger because it uses Bailey's. Yeah. I'm channeling the dude. Yes, I am. Nadropolis, welcome to the show. Welcome. Yeah. Hey, who liked that call-in episode last week? That was pretty freaking cool. No, Aaron, I'm not going to garnish with his nuts. Sorry.
So you need a rug to tie the room together.
I have a dog to tie the room together. Oh, she went away. Oh, it's sad. She's like, I hate the sound of your voice. I'm leaving.
What is an OVPN file? I don't even know.
What is an OVPN file?
OVP? Do you know? I don't know.
I don't know. It sounds dangerously like a virus.
Ew.
Space Zap. That's a beautiful cabinet.
The artwork on the side of that is absolutely stunning.
Is that a full size? Or is it a cab?
It's the cabaret that was here.
Yeah, I never saw it while it was there, but
You're jumping ahead.
Oh, that's
I'm
from
just
last
looking at
year.
the cabinet on the screen right now. You know? What are you doing? What are you doing, Mark? Are you sexting?
What? No. I'm trying to stuff's happening.
I should have scanned the side art on that. That was gorgeous side art, by the way.
Hey, who
On
wants
what?
to give
On the
Steve
space app.
from Grinkers another couple minutes, or should we just get this thing going?
Well, the first part of the show we can just get going, and then he can join us for the interview.
Yeah, well, Nadropolis says there's a roofing company in his city with a very similar logo to Arcade Road. It's funny because doesn't Monster energy drinks have a similar logo? There's actually a bunch of people that do.
There's a lot.
Yeah.
Slugfest.
I mean, I'm not the first person to think about turning an R backwards and making it into a Space Invader, but
It's a juicy IPA.
Billy says start the show and let him join. Let's get this thing on. Let's get thing on rails. That's what I'm hearing.
Go.
What's that?
Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I'm gonna try something. I'm gonna start the intro, and then I'm gonna see if I can get a drink and come back.
You've done this before.
And mute Brian.
I can't mute you.
Let's all do that. Start the intro and we all run away.
All right, here we go.
Live from KOYR Studios in Minneapolis, Minnesota, this is Arcade Radio.
Hello, Commander. Computer reporting.
Intruder alert, intruder alert.
A stimulating opponent.
Hello and welcome to Season 4, Episode 20 of the Arcade Radio Podcast. Today is Thursday, May 14th, 2020, and the time is now approximately 7:27 p.m. Central. I'm your host, Adam Steven Siemens. And that sounds terrible. I'm joined by my co-host, Mark
you.
Time Runner Shields, and Paradise Arcade Shop proprietor and dirty rotten scoundrel, Brian Thurston Owl Armitage III. And I don't read the show notes before I read this whole thing, so it's kind of funny. So joining us tonight from beautiful Eagle, Idaho, owner of the most authentic 19
AIDS.
It's
over, folks. See you later.
All right.
Thank you and good night. The most authentic 1980s arcade on the planet. Knower of things and seeing of the future. Ladies and gentlemen, I should have read the show notes before I read this. Please welcome to the show. He's not here. So when Steve joins us, we'll introduce him again. But he's having some technical difficulties, and we are just going to move on without him. Because that's how we roll. And we're glad you're here with us. I hope everybody's poured themselves a quarantini. Because shit's going to start opening up. And then we're going to have to quarantine again. That's how it's going to work.
Oh, I heard about Wisconsin. The party started right away last night.
Yeah, I think we're gonna be in the same situation we were 2 months ago, 2 months from now, if not sooner. But that's my personal opinion. I'm not a doctor, and I'm just someone who looks at the facts and says, people are dying from this stuff, and I wish that all the arcades were open. That's what I wish.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
That'd be nice.
Slather me down with some antiseptic or whatever.
Yep. Inject me with some Lysol. I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's just talk about what you've been working on. Brian, why don't you kick us off?
Me?
Okay,
What am I
Mark, why
working
don't you kick us off?
I'm just kidding.
Kick.
Well,
You're like on to the next thing.
yeah, it's because
I
we
got my
wrote.
Roadrunner.
If you look at the show notes, we wrote our
Mark-
segments in there, and yours is blank. Brian.
That's because I've been
Blank.
drinking.
Nice.
Yep. Just because you're a big ass surgeon. I mean, not big ass, but just because you're a big time surgeon.
All right, so I took a bunch of powder coating down to the powder coater. I missed 2 Atari coin door slots for my Star Wars that I got to do. Collected powder coating from like everybody, which I'm sure Adam will talk about as well. Finished off Roadrunner, which is now running, and I've got the marquee printing up in the printer. We did the test run today. We'll do the final print tomorrow. And I have been scanning and cleaning up art for Kitty Rama's Warrior and Piranha for the last couple of days. So I'm having fun with that. It is a blast. And we can play Life Force at the arcade here because we have one here. So that's
Sweet.
Stability 7. That's what
That's
I'm
it?
working on.
That's it? Oh,
That's it.
Mark, what you been working on?
Oh, let's see. I sent off my 3 elevator action board sets to Raymond Jett of arcadecomponents.com. and he actually queued me. He's like, I don't want them until like next month, so I had to wait. And he even keeps his address secret, so nobody sends him anything and overloads him. So pretty interesting. I did get my Holosseum back from Ken at iRepair Sega. It is amazing. If you go to my Twitter, 90-minute tape, at 90-minute tape, yeah, you can watch a video I made of it where I was demonstrating how weird it is. I finally received my Omega Ray Space App and Authentic Kitty Rama. Thank you, Brian. I've got them right here. Actually, over here, right here. My Satan's Hollow, I put them all 3 in a row because when you have cabarets, you should make them congregate, right? Satan's Hollow, I don't know. Somebody put in like spotlight LEDs, so I need to fix that. That looks not so good. Also, this machine had 5-volt light bulbs, the 4-4s, and that's like 12 volts. So it was spectacular when they burned out. So that was kind of fun. What else is going on here? I received my ship. Yeah, I said that. Last weekend I pulled my Zybots out of my storage room, and it's been there since last year when I got it, and it hasn't had a monitor, and I didn't know. Like I never did a technical assessment. And so I grabbed one of my Geo7s, I put it in there, I gave it a cleanup. I could not get sync no matter what. And it turned out that the composite sync on the PCB, the last IC that goes to that was stuck low.
Oh.
But while I was looking at the schematic, I noticed that 2 other pins that are not even mentioned in the harness or anything else actually were receiving horizontal and vertical sync individually. So I went in and added 2 wires to the harness and that goes to the monitor, and I plugged them into the correct spot on the monitor, and now I've got sync. It's awesome.
Here's my question. That was a later game. Did that even come with a Geo7?
I think it came with a Sharp.
Yeah, I think
it was empty when I got it.
It's interesting because I think that anybody else might have an issue with that if they ever tried to put it back to the original monitor. But Geo7s are nice. We talked about that last week. They have that lighter gray phosphor. They're beautiful monitors, but they have a little bit of burn-in problems. If you got another tube for that, I would love to pay you for one, Mark, if you come across one.
Another tube for
a Geo7.
Oh,
or a whole Geo7 monitor. I'll trade you for a 4900. I don't care. I have a cup, like my Journey, for instance, has got a terrible burn-in, and I want to put something a little bit cleaner in there. It was a Geo7 originally.
Right.
So.
Well, I have 3 Geo7s like laying around right now, so I'll have to see. I'll have to do an assessment. I also have one where
I'll trade you for a 4900, and I'll pay the shipping.
Wow. Okay, done.
All right.
Figure it out.
And we'll get them, shipped properly. So
road trip.
You got anything else?
Road. Let's see. I rearranged the living room cage.
Oh, nice.
And now I have a 43-inch monitor in here, and that way I can actually look at you guys, and you're not like itty bitty. I've got the chat over to the side. I'll put a picture on my Twitter again at 90-minute tape. Everybody follow me.
Yeah. Woohoo! Twitter for Adam? What am I doing?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm doing so much. Brian and I just sent a lot of stuff off to SE Customs here in Minneapolis. That's a company that is powder coating here. So my Journey and Mousetrap metals, that's the coin doors, power brick, all that stuff, is at the powder coaters right now, getting some work done. I started work on putting a restored coin door into Journey, so I'm going to be building that all up and putting all the wiring back in and all that stuff. Moving games around in my basement as usual, because I talked about that for the last 3 weeks or so. And I ordered up parts to rebuild not 1, not 2, but 3 Triac boards for the APB machines. So that's kind of cool because the old Triacs on those, I don't know if anybody in the chat has an APB, but the Triac boards are notorious for going out. And so I bought, I ordered up Triacs, obviously, but with better voltage capacity, suppression capacitors, those big blue caps on that little board, and the optocouplers.
Better, stronger, faster.
So I can make them better, faster, and stronger. Well, not really faster, but they're going to blink at the right time. I also found a set of LEDs. So you guys, you know that some of the earlier LEDs have like a diode. You know, all the LEDs have diodes, and they have a delay to them, right? So when they turn them on, sometimes you wait like a millisecond, and then they turn on. That's problematic for this Triac board because it's trying to flash the lights. So what I did was I tried out these Edison style. Do you know those the bulbs I'm talking about?
Yeah, they're cool.
Yeah, so I bought a case of these basically 40 watt LED style incandescent bulbs. Well, they're LED bulbs. They're not incandescent, and so they act just like a regular incandescent bulb. So when they're in and they flash on and off, they turn almost instantaneously. There's no delay. So the technology in certain LED bulbs has gotten much better. So I have 3 of these boards. I'm going to rebuild them. I'm going to sell a couple of them as kits with bulbs. So 2 LED bulbs, and you're going to get a working Triac board with all upgraded components. I have 2 out of the 3 components right now. Here you can see I got the blue capacitors, the suppressor capacitors, and then I got the optocouplers, which are weird. They are freaking... Where'd they go?
Look who we got!
Oh, hey, look at that!
Hey.
Steve!
Check that, man.
Hey guys.
Hey,
Can you guys hear me okay?
we can hear
You
you.
sound great.
Let me get you into
Awesome.
let me get you into the picture here, so people can see you. So
You got to get me in too. I'm
What?
an S.
what the heck happened to you?
I died.
You need to rejoin. I'm gonna add our guest. Well,
Do I
I
need
could
to drop
actually
out?
let me see if I can fix you, Brian. Let me see if I can fix you.
That is not possible.
Hold still.
Now hold still while I try to fix you.
And turn your head to the left.
Well, it's funny because I
Oh,
added
shit,
Steve.
wrong way.
I added Steve, and he's a big S also.
I see double S. The
And
double S's.
my dog is barking. I don't know what's happening here.
It's breaking here.
Have you, Brian? Is Brian Frober voting for plus Steve minus Brian, or?
You need to rejoin, Brian. I don't know what's going on.
I'm out.
And Steve, are you still there? Because I don't.
He's moving.
I'm back.
I'm here. Yeah, can you hear me?
I can
You
hear
sound
you.
great.
Cool.
I'm trying to add you right now. Active speaker, maybe?
Connecting video streams.
Am I still in it? Don't cross the streams.
I got.
I'm gonna grab a beer really quick.
All right, sounds
Yeah.
good. I can't get his
There's 2
live stream
marks.
to join.
Oh my god.
2 marks.
I got to get my dog. You guys talk
Yeah,
about
yeah.
something.
We'll kill time for you. Okay.
Wait, this is the S talking.
Okay.
Everybody should listen.
Yes. Yes, S.
I do have. Hey, I have another Space App button for you, actually.
Another button just in case one of these go out, or
Yeah, I mean, they're like the Space App buttons are. They're like these plungers in the metal panel. There's no rim.
oh.
Did you
Is
notice
there-
that?
I didn't go underneath and check it out. I
Well-
was kind of curious if I could illuminate them.
No, because they're solid plastic. If you ran a light from underneath, you could likely light a circle around them,
Oh.
where there's a gap, but not light through them. That would be cool, though.
Hmm.
But I don't know. I mean, you'd have to remold them because they literally they're just the plunger. There is no rim. The control panel has a little raised edge.
I kind of want to go under there and go check it out. I'm like, what?
You
What are you
can see it
talking
from
about?
you can see it from the top. Just go over and look at the top. Push the button. You'll have it'll push down in. It's pretty wild.
Okay.
Why
I
is
mean, I was
Brian
thinking
not
of
showing
this
up?
during the intro?
Oh. That's fascinating.
Yeah, I know. I have an extra one for you, by the way.
Brian, did you
And
disconnect and reconnect?
Yes, I
did.
did. Do you want me
Yeah.
to do it again?
You're not showing up. You're just a big S.
Well, I mean, I just broke the camera. These good looks, I'll tell you.
I'm just gonna add me to everywhere.
Hey, Aaron, if you want to print one, I can measure the one up that I have here, and you can print it. But I just don't. I don't know. I don't think that printed.
No.
I'm not a big fan of printed buttons for games. I mean, I have some actually right here.
There we
which
go.
you guys can't see at all.
Now we'll just have me the whole show.
Yeah, that's scary.
Oh no.
I don't know what the deal is.
Do you want me to turn my here? You want me to try it one more time?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I mean,
Yes.
I don't know why it suddenly wouldn't work.
If Adam could show me on the screen right now, I have a 3D printed button in my hand.
You have a big
right there.
S. It's you're not nothing.
It's invisible.
Here's the invisible button. It works awesome. It's not the strength. It's the strength, Aaron. I mean, that's the thing that always kind of kills me is that I just don't feel like they have the long-term, survivorship. What would be really cool to do is print little hockey guys,
This is
which I'm
super
holding up.
irritating.
You can't see either.
And I'm just gonna stick it right back where I got it. Wait, Adam left.
But we
Now
can
he's
see
back. Maybe that helps.
That fixed it when I left and came back.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, it's Skype. Oh no, I just lost. What the hell?
Oh,
there
wait,
you go.
we're all there.
Yeah.
It's everybody.
Yeah. All right. Hey, Steve, if you want to unblur your background, in the upper 3-dot corner, you can unblur your background. And then, or maybe it's lower. I don't know. It's different on Macs and PCs and whatnot.
But yes, 3 dots, share screen, start recording 2 subtitles, unblur my background.
There you go.
Yes.
There.
There's
No way.
Grinkers.
By the way, there's Grinkers, everybody. Okay, let's everybody give a round of applause. 25 people watching right now.
Oh, and you're at the bar. I know this position. There's the entrance right behind you.
Yep, it's freaking awesome. Hey, I just want to ask real quick, and great job on getting this all squared away in such a great, in a short amount of. I mean, you haven't been in that building in how long?
2 months almost.
Yeah, so like coming in as like Wi-Fi is not working. He's like hooking everything up. He's wired. So this is freaking awesome. I just want to say, hey, welcome to the show. We're just talking about things we're working on. I know you got a lot of stuff you're working on. That's probably going to be part of the interview. But maybe you could tell us if there's anything you're working on in the hobby.
Sure. At home, it's been nice because I've had an opportunity just to work on games at home that have pretty much gone neglected for years, right? Because the focus is always Grinkers. And so you have these games that have just been, in storage for a long time, and it's nice to break into those and to get some progress on that. So I've got right now I just have a Gravatar is probably where I've been spending most of my time. I'm working on a Gravatar, a Mispack, a Monaco GP, and a Galaga, and they're all in different states of repair, but we'll get them going. The nice thing is I had a lot of games in like the personal collection that I'd never even tried to turn on, and it was fun to go through like 6 or 7 or probably more like I don't know a handful of games and like discover what their status is for the very first time. That was a lot of fun. So the quarantine's been fun in that way.
Now, the interesting thing is you have a Monaco GP on the floor that was working. So is this another stand edition or is this a cockpit?
Yeah, no, it's a stand edition.
Okay.
There's an interesting story on the Monaco GP cockpit. They made two versions. I think the first version they made had the coin door on the same side as the same side as the shifter, and so you couldn't put the game up against the wall on the shifter side because it would block the coin door.
Interesting.
But you could only get in the game from the opposite side. So in order to have that game on the floor, or to have it like usable in any arcade, would be to have both sides accessible. Right?
Now I have to go find out what mine is. I have both. I have the stand and the cockpit, and I think the cockpit version I have is with the coin door on the right hand side.
You have the later, better version.
Okay, because that's the same side as the shifter, or no? It's the other. It's opposite.
It's the opposite.
Okay, yeah. So that's interesting. I'm gonna have to check that out. That's crazy. I just learned something new.
Oh my god.
So, anyway, I was just saying, I'm working on this APB stuff, and I'm doing the Triac rebuilds. So I'm going to sell a couple of kits for that on eBay. I'll have 2 kits, 2 bulbs, and a fully rebuilt Triac board. I don't know what I'm going to sell them for yet, but probably not much, like $60 or something. So the other thing that I did today was I bought a new APB marquee, and if you guys know, that's the plexiglass bent plexi or acrylic. I think it's plexi. And Rich from This Old Game makes the graphics if you want to put a new graphic on it, but they're often cracked. And so there's one on eBay that I just won today for $42 shipped. Somebody's going to pay me to give it to me, which is unfortunate. But I'm really excited about it because it has less cracks in it than mine. And then what I'm going to do is, I was talking to Brian about this. I'm going to create a couple of interest threads. And I don't know if there's anybody in the chat that has an APB, but I'm going to make Lexan versions of that marquee and see if I can get Rich to do a limited run of APB decals to put over those and sell them as kits. Because I think there's a lot of us that have cracked marquees and would like a brand new one to put on our APB. So that I'm going to work on that. If there's anybody in the chat that wants that, I'm super excited about doing that. Crown Plastics here in town has done some stuff for me in the past, and I'm going to do that. Aside from that, I have been sorting console games this week also. So Atari 2600, ColecoVision, PS1, NES, SNES, GameCube, Sega Genesis, Dreamcast, PS3, Odyssey 2, Atari 7800, and God knows what else. But I have hundreds of games. It's really interesting to go through all this stuff. I haven't looked at it in ages, but this COVID epidemic has given me this, opportunity to sit down with all the shit I have and look over it, as Steve was saying. So anyway, and the weather is finally improving too, so that I'm looking forward to getting into the garage with some of the bigger projects, aka Tron. My last Tron restore is going to get done in 2020 and hopefully be able to be debuted in 2021. So anyway, is that everything we've been working on? Are we ready to move on to the next segment? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah. I made a new tab.
Oh, excellent. Let's get into that. Here we go.
I always felt that the true stars at Atari was engineering.
Oh, you're an inventor.
Yes, I am.
What have you invented?
A lot of things.
Like?
Like a lot of things. Like things that you've heard of.
Like?
Well, things that you will have heard of, okay? Patents are pending.
Arcade gadgets with Brian the Clown.
Welcome to the Gadget segment. I was told to talk slower tonight. So I'm gonna move
You
along.
just can't just do it and like keep the curtain
and slow.
You just have to.
So we can all.
You have to bust me out and be like, yeah, Adam's a dick, and he's like, you talk too fast, and I'm gonna mention it on the show so I can give him a little ribbing.
He told me to talk to people like.
I'm cutting off the in-game
like
music.
I do talk to my patients, and I'm very straightforward with my patients. So.
Okay, well, talk to me like you talk to your patients. Listen, honey, I'm gonna need to take that leg.
We're gonna make a hole about this big, and we're gonna shove a rod about this big. Right?
Don't excite me. Don't excite me.
So, the gadget segment. We got a couple of things today. Some fun stuff going on KLOV. Jet2net, I don't know how to pronounce that, is releasing the Geo7 remote boards. These are super cheap. $2 a board. They allow you to have a remote control, board for your Geo7 controls. So you can do centering of the monitor, adjust the. I didn't look at all the stuff here, but anyways, it takes all the dials that are in the back, brings them to the front, and adds on the ability to vertically and horizontally position your monitor using the board. Really neat. $2 a piece plus shipping. Shipping's super cheap. He's putting them in envelopes. So if you haven't seen these, go for them. It's actually a great deal. So, if you guys, so this is one of the interesting things. People keep asking me to do these, and I don't do them because I basically, once you get the Geo7 adjusted, I just leave it. So I don't understand the point of having a remote board because you do it once. But evidently, people want to do this. Do you guys have these on your Geo7s?
I do not. Are you holding it up to the screen because I can't see it?
I don't have one. It's like on KLOV. So that's it. You know, you can buy 5 of them for $10.
You're making them for 5 for $10. Is that what you just said?
No, I said yeah. You can buy 5 boards for $10. It does not include the pots. You have to take those off the back.
What are you talking about? You're making boards for people to adjust their monitors? Is that what you're saying?
All right, we'll start over.
Okay, go slower because I'm very slow.
Jet2net, Jetusenet.
Oh, so they're making them.
Is making Geo7 remote boards.
And you're just saying this is BS because nobody needs these.
No, I'm saying like I normally just adjust them once.
Mm-hmm.
But he's actually doing a really nice, very cheap run of these.
Oh.
I mean, $2 a piece for the board is.
Yeah, it's cheap. Great, but then you got to transfer everything yourself.
I know, but I mean, it's an interesting. I mean, there's really not a cheaper way of doing it.
I mean, what if I'm Mark Shields and I can't solder?
Yeah, that's a problem.
Is Mark still on? Did he drop? He's muted. I love it.
So we'll move along here.
Okay, moving along. Moving along.
So the other thing that I was going to talk about was for you Williams fans, Broodwitch is doing another run of basically metal plates that are replacement for the Robotron plates on the control panels. The original plastic plates would crack over time. The metal plates will not. So if you're going to be rebuilding any control panel soon, go check out KLOV. He's got a new set of metal plates, very well priced. And then, in honor of me playing Tempest during the intro, I need to get a set of bushings from Glitch, who's selling brass bushings for the Tempest.
So hey, correct me if I'm wrong, but you just covered 4 different products for sale. Is that correct?
3 different products for sale.
At the end, didn't you mention one more in passing?
No. So we got Geo7 remote boards, which we recovered for Adam. Robotron plates, which if you're rebuilding your control panels, and then the brass bushing kits, which are being re-released by Glitch on KLOV. So
and you found all that stuff within the last week?
Yeah. So actually, the Geo7 and Robotron plates are released in the last week. The Glitch pings have been out since February, but I was playing my Tempest, and I don't know if you guys can hear this.
Yeah.
So,
I love that sound.
So
That's classic.
the brass bushing kits fix that spinner knob.
You know, it's interesting because I put a new bushing kit into my Tempest 7 years ago, and now it's starting to do the brrr noise again.
Well, you need another one.
Yeah, so I need the brass one. I like brass bushings.
When I was a kid, that's the noise I remember, and
Excuse
that's the noise
me,
I want.
But who doesn't want the brass bushing, if you know what I mean?
I don't know.
I mean,
Your
who doesn't
mom?
want it? My mom doesn't want it. Really? You're going to bring my mom into the show? Oh, my God.
I'm sorry.
I will make this announcement here. Super new.
Okay.
Our 6100 boards, the high voltage replacement and the neck replacement boards are arriving this week. So those will be on the site.
Scotty, beam me up. All right, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So now
some fun stuff going on.
Now I skipped the news segment especially for you, Brian.
Well, that's because I made the best effing tab ever.
Well, no, it's because exactly. You did make the best effing tab ever. Literally, you made the best effing tab ever. And I was like, you know what? You just need to keep that there because at least we'll know what it is. I think this is funny. It's funny because I skipped over you at least 2 episodes. I'm pretty sure. It was like
no, you keep going ahead and then going back, but I snuck in this time and I got there.
Right. All right, so we should go on to the news.
It's the Arcade News with Adam Stevens.
All right, so we're just going to cover one news item tonight. It's from DualShockers.com. Arcade Spirits. Imagine a world where the 1983 video game crash never happened. So the visual novel Arcade Spirits comes from a fictional factory games and arrived on Nintendo Switch, PS4, and Xbox One this month. It's essentially a romantic comedy by heart. But functionally, Arcade Spirits looks like, well, it looks at the gaming industry outwardly through the lens of an alternate timeline. So this is a world in which the 1983 video game crash never occurred, which means that Steve Barbie would not ever have Grinkers, because why even create it? Because it doesn't even need, nostalgia doesn't even exist, and who gives a shit? Anyway.
Wow.
So the playable character with the name, appearance, and pronouns, fully customizable, to your preference, is in a loop of self-doubt and unemployment, which, unfortunately for a lot of people right now, that might be reality.
Wow.
Yeah. Customization makes it all the easier to imprint your personal... Why am I reading this? Mark, tell us the gist of this thing, because it's
an interactive story where you're in this weird alternate reality where arcade games in modern times are a thing, and not just one-off, but like the whole, like it's exactly like 1983 never. This game's been out for a couple of years. They released it for the PC, and they've been porting it for different platforms.
Has anybody played this? Is it a romantic comedy? Christopher's saying, is it a romantic comedy? Does it have John Cusack with a boombox playing in your eyes?
Maybe.
Because that'd be awesome.
It's a game. It's like it's an interactive game you play on your Xbox, and there's like...
it's funny.
You read it, and you make decisions, so you actually get to pick where your character is going to go.
A lot of people on this show that I work with on this show, and by a lot I mean Brian Armitage, they don't like the news. They're like, the news sucks, and I kind of agree. Like the news sucks.
It's hard to get good news, dude.
It is.
What was the other art?
Great news, but you didn't like my butt model news.
Well, why do you always bring up the butt model? I don't understand why we're always talking about the butt model. And you know what the funny thing is that we actually have
the story. Sorry, the story inside the game is that the 1980s never ended, and it's like present day,
Yeah.
And the story is that the 80s has survived until now.
Yeah.
Right. No video game crash. So just imagine Atari 2600-5 or whatever.
Oh my God. Hey, we should have Nolan back on the show with Steve.
Nolan would be like, he'd be like Bill Gates, basically.
Oh my God, you guys, I got to show you something. I totally forgot about this. I made mouse pads this week.
Oh, man.
Nice.
Can you see those?
Yeah, I see Rat Casino.
This is funny because this is, sort of my version of the rat pad, mouse pad, established 1970. And then I made these, which Aaron would be pissed off about if I mass produce them, but he said he doesn't care if I make one-offs. So.
Right.
I should maybe get. I do have an extra one of these though. Tonight, whoever wins gets one of these.
Pizza Time Theater.
Yep. We're gonna give away a rat mouse pad, a rat pad.
Child Casino Rat Pad. Got it.
Yep. I mean, Child Casino. That's exactly right. I mean, seriously. Where were we? This is a fun show.
I think we're on the next segment.
Okay. I can do that. I just have to find my mouse because it went over to that computer. All right. Well.
Back in '82, I used to be able to throw a pigskin quarter mile.
Back to the cave with Time Runner.
Why are things so heavy in the future? Is there
I don't know, Doc.
Gravitational pull?
Because you're an idiot?
I just let that fade out. I like that. That's nice. So we'd like, here at Arcade Radio, we'd like to wish a happy belated 70th birthday in honor of John Wilden Hughes Jr. Is it Wilden or Wilden? I'm not sure.
Can I just... That doesn't... Is it... It can't be possible. He has been dead for 20 years.
He was born in 1950.
When did he die?
A while ago.
I know, but like...
I'm not commemorating that. What the...
But you said, like, a happy 70th... He died when he was 50. So that's 20 years ago. That can't be right.
Oh, my God. So this isn't going to be like an Arcade Outsiders episode where we never Google what the fuck.
I just did. He died August 6, 2009, so it was...
so he was...
11 years
59.
ago.
59.
Was he 59?
Or 60, something like that.
Yeah, 59. He died at age 59. That's terrible. I love that guy, though. I mean, really, right?
Which is why, well, let's talk about him a little bit.
Okay.
American filmmaker.
Yes.
You may have heard of him.
Yes. It is Walter Day's birthday today.
Is it? Happy birthday, Walter Day.
Yeah, happy birthday, Walter Day.
I should have worn my what's that shoe store? You know the one.
I don't know. Schuler's.
The one where you're wearing the uniform of the referee. Anyway, yeah. So
Foot Locker.
That's it. Anyway, John Hughes was an author of humorous essays and stories for National Lampoon, and then he went on to write, produce, and sometimes direct some of the most successful live-action comedy films of the 1980s and 1990s.
He did.
He did. And so that actually segues us directly into this other half of our segment, which I call, Hey Adam, what's in the juke?
You call it, oh yeah.
What's in the juke?
Welcome to What's in the Juke.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And so today's episode will obviously have a John Hughes flair to it.
Oh, really?
And, yes, but as our other movie hit song, I guess, What's in the Jukes from the last 2 weeks, we're going to ask for the song, the artist, and the 80s film. And in this case, it's a John Hughes film. And for each one, you can get a half point.
Half point.
A half point.
Ah.
Oh, I'm supposed to play a thing there. Sorry.
Karate.
Half point. Begin.
If you get 2 of them, you get a full point.
Oh, there. Now we're on track.
You don't have point and a half. Well, I know how you do it. Close enough. So here's where we play a tiny snippet of music, and then you guys get to guess. There will be a slight delay. We will go by the YouTube chat that we see as far as who answered first. So you may have answered first on your chat, but what we see is the final word.
Right.
So let's start.
Okay. Are we ready to go with this?
Let's do it.
Okay.
Don't put that if you can't guess.
You guys, this is going to be interesting. All right.
Casey's already answered.
Yeah, that's not
we've
Casey.
already had, like, several
That's not
guesses
cool.
over
You
there.
can't. I'm sorry. You just can't answer that way. All right. You just can't. We haven't even started.
Yeah.
All right. So here comes your first audio clip
Good luck.
for a John Hughes film that you may or may not have heard of.
Yeah.
Bust it.
Bust a move, Uncle Buck. Casey gets a half point right out of the gate. Aaron, half point, and it is not Tone Loc, Yo Eddie, but you were close. Who is the
Jason.
singer? You guys don't know who the singer is. That's Young MC, Metropolis. We get a half point across the board for those gentlemen. That is
They're all tied.
amazing. Okay.
Hey, what's up, Yo Eddie?
Hey, man.
That's crazy.
It's crazy.
Yo
man.
Eddie is a pretty regular.
Yeah, he's
fella.
he's
a regular feller.
We love Yo Eddie. And
Yes.
Has he won anything? Because we should send. He says, "Hey, yo, Steve, we should send him some stuff. We should just send him some stuff."
Okay. Honorary winner.
Yeah. Okay. Then here comes your next track.
Good times for a change. See the luck I've had can make a good man turn bad.
So please, 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 let me.
What?
It is the Smiths. That was Steve Take.
Nice.
Ferris Bueller. I'm going to give a half point to Dave because that is somewhat correct. There is an instrumental version by Dream Academy that was in Ferris Bueller's Day Off. But it is not Ferris Bueller's Day Off. This was in Not Some Kind of Wonderful. Not Ferris. Wow. I'm going to play the clip again. It is the Smiths. Please, please, please.
Good times for a change.
It was also featured in Yo Eddie, you got it. You got it, buddy. So Yo Eddie gets a half point for the movie.
Pink. Oh, Yo Eddie's on the board.
Yep.
Well, we now have 6 people with a half point.
Excellent. All right, cool. It's always good.
Look at Grinkers. Look how beautiful Grinkers is.
I know. Grinkers is the best.
Even with all the stuff. That's why my light's red today.
By the way, I'm working on a routine in my house where I can tell the computer, Alexa, to I'm going to say computer, go to red alert, and what's that?
Mine's also named computer. I like that.
Yeah, because it's very Star Trek-y. So anyway, I'm going to say computer, go to red alert, and I have all these bulbs that will automatically turn to red. And it's going to play a klaxon from, the red alert, and it's going to turn everything to red alert. It's going to be awesome. Anyway, totally nerdy. Moving on, your next track is this. You might recognize it from earlier shows.
Yes, 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm. But here it comes nonetheless. Wow. That was Casey. Simple Minds, Don't You Forget About Me. Breakfast Club. He got all of it. He got a point in it. He gets it out. Are you kidding me?
In the lead.
Is he in the room with me? It's
Wait, he had that ready in his copy. And
I know.
Full point. Half
But
point.
that's okay.
He's like, John, this is going to come up. I'm going to paste it in here. That's what he did.
It's smart.
It is smart. Okay, here comes your next track. It's a little tougher. Here it comes. Oh, Smokinator, welcome to the show, buddy.
Awesome.
Oh, yeah. The song makes me hot.
What?
It's a great song. Casey's got it. Yo Eddie had it first. 16 Candles.
Whoa, it's
Mr.
happening.
Peabody,
Hot stuff.
if you were there, and if you were here, is actually, but we'll give it to you. And Thompson Twins, Mr. Peabody. Mr. Peabody gets a full point. A full point. All right, Bice.
So you already got a half point?
Yeah, he gets it for the 16 Candles.
Got it.
Nice job. This is good. All right. Yeah, play a little bit more of that song.
What you suspect my emotion wandering.
Yeah, I'm probably going to get banned for that, but who the hell cares? Okay, here comes your next track. John Hughes film, 1985. Here you go.
Darker shame, darling, darker shame.
I love this woman. She is so good.
What is the name of the song, I wonder?
It is not Danya Shea. Sorry, Yo Eddie. It is Ferris Bueller. Brady.
Mr. Peabody.
Brady. Oh, yeah. No, Casey's on the board with Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
All right.
And it is Donka Shane, Casey. No,
I think Yo Eddie
Mr.
got it
Mr.
first.
Peabody got it first.
Oh, he did, yes.
Yep. Mr. Peabody gets a half point. And it is Wayne Newton. Casey got that, though. He gets a half point. So there's a bunch of half points in that one, right? That's what
And
I'm
did Casey get 2 full points? I
Nope.
mean, 1 full point?
Nope, he got a half point.
Okay. So I have Casey, I have Mr. Peabody.
Mr. Peabody got, I think he got a point.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, because he got, yeah, I'm just going to go back here.
When you have 3 answers per question,
I
it's
know.
like,
So the first person to get Donka Shane, okay, so Ferris Bueller's Day Off was Casey.
Got it.
Mr. Peabody was Donka Shane. And then we were waiting for Wayne Newton. And that was Casey. Was he first? Casey was first. So we got a full point for Casey.
That's what I thought. Okay.
I'm not trying to sound disappointed.
Half point.
But that
Casey
guy
is good.
He's really good. He's
Yo.
He's so
hey,
good.
Grinkers Grand Palace is chatting.
Oh, is he? Awesome. Yes. I love that guy. All right, let's go on to the next track. You might get this one.
She's alive. Science.
Sometimes you just have to give it away. I mean, seriously, Casey's got it pasted in his freaking thing. He gets a point and a half. Am I reading this right?
Casey. He's going way over. Yeah, he did it.
Full point. Half point.
The funny thing is that he's cheating.
No, he's not.
I think Casey has like 10 windows open. All the answers are typed, and he's like, whoa,
Yeah.
whoa.
Or spreadsheet.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, like, that's kind of brilliant. It is. Yeah. And where the hell's Dolly this week? She was doing great last week, and I don't see her anywhere here.
Nice.
All right. Let's move on to the next one. You guys, she's cheating.
Oh man,
that's weird. Okay, here comes your next track. This might be one of my favorite tracks we've ever played on the show. And I'm not joking. I just love this track. It is Flesh for Lulu, Mr. Peabody. That is amazing.
Good job, sir.
Right. It is. What movie is that from, Mark?
Fresh for Lulu. Some Kind of Wonderful.
And nobody's gotten that, so hopefully it'll pop up in the chat.
Who got I Go Crazy?
That was Mr. Peabody. Oh, no.
As well?
I Go Crazy. Yeah, he got a full point for that. Yeah, he's in for a full point.
All right.
That's awesome.
Full point.
All right, cool. And now everybody's like some kind of well. And actually, Mr. Peabody gets the other half point for that because, you know, he listened into the show. That's good. And that's great. So I Go Crazy.
Hello, this is Ty
Awesome. Okay, here comes your next track. Mark, I literally bought this soundtrack 2 weeks ago.
That's so awesome.
Oh my god, Tones on Tail, Mr. Peabody. Go, Mr. Peabody. Are you kidding me? Oh my god, that's great. I can't believe that. Which movie is it from, you guys? You gotta figure this out. Not European Vacation. Well, it could be from European Vacation, but it's not a John Hughes film. So this is from a John Hughes film. In other words, he was producer, writer, or I don't know, something. You guys are so close. Okay, I'm gonna give it to give a point to Mr. Peabody, and that is Career Opportunities.
Right. If you guys have not seen Career Opportunities, hilarious.
Oh.
You will never look at a target the same way again.
Oh, and Jennifer Connelly is so hot when she's riding that horse.
Yes, I want the same horse at my house.
And oh my gosh, like the scene where she's going through the cassette tapes. You remember that?
Where she's just and he's dancing like.
Yeah, and the whole wall is just. I remember I worked at Target when I was there in '91. Like when this movie came out, and the and there was this. It's literally how Targets were. I mean, it's so good. Anyway,
have you seen it? Have you seen this movie, Steve?
There's a YouTube video that has that movie essentially made into like an MTV video.
Yeah.
With just it's really good. It's over. I can't remember which song it is, but if you just YouTube Career Opportunities Jennifer Connelly video, it'll be like one of the top ones.
I'll tell you which song it is.
Really good.
I'll tell you which song it is. It's a song called Sunset by The Midnight, and it's on their album Endless Summer. And it goes a little something like this.
Wow. Mr. Peabody, he's got sunset him.
Lit a match, closed the door, waited for the flash. Greyhound station, paid in cash. It's Lazarus, we coming back.
By the way, if you've never heard this band, The Midnight, they're a modern band. They've been doing music since the mid-2010s, 2015s, and they're fucking amazing. So that song's Sunset by The Midnight. Endless Summer is the album. Pick it up. Okay, here we go. The last one we did was Go, Tones on Tail, Career Opportunities. We've plugged that movie enough, right, Mark?
That's correct.
All right, here we go. Here comes the next track. love it. Casey's in with She's Having a Baby. That is correct. It is not Iron Maiden. Good guess. Mr. Peabody, not Cocktail. Metropolis, not Transformers. She's Having a Baby is the correct song. And what movie is it from? Oh, yeah, She's Having a Baby. Metropolis gets a half point. All right. So who is the artist? If you guys get the artist, you get another half point. I'm going to give you 5 more seconds. 5, a 4, a 3, a 2. Never say that movie. 1. It is Dave Wakeling of The Beat, or as it's known in the United States of America, the English Beat. Also part of... yeah, so anyway. Might remember a song by Tenderness, anyway, let's move on to the last song, which nobody's going to get the movie, but we're going to play it anyway. Here it goes. What the hell's happening here? I think I played the wrong song. Let's try this again, all right? All right?
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, what is that?
Yeah, because that's... Oh my... What's happening here? I'm going to play Aha all of a sudden. No, we're going to play one more track, and it's going to be very... But just think, John Hughes films, and if you've already been on the internet looking up, you might know what it is already. You might. Right, Mark?
No.
No.
This is a deep cut.
Yeah, this is a deep cut. Here we go. Nice guess, Yo Eddie. We're ready to Ferris. Chariots of Fire is correct. That's Steve Taki for a half point. It is Vangelis. That is Casey Relford.
Well, I think Yo Eddie got Chariots of Fire first.
Okay. Oh, yep, he did. Good.
And who got Vangelis first? Casey.
All right.
Nice.
Sweet. All right, so let's tally up the winners.
Playing for honor tonight and no prize is Casey Relford with 5.5 points. An amazing run. Next, in second place, and actually winning something, Mr. Peabody with 3.5 points. So technically you're in first place, Mr. Peabody. And in third place, Yo Eddie, what's going on? And then, I guess, in third place, Metropolis. So when Adam comes back, apparently he has some prizes. A Chuck E. Cheese mouse pad, at least. And I don't know what the other 2 things are, but we're going to write your names down.
Great awesomeness.
We're going to get something down. That's going to be great. And we're going to do our interview. We're going to talk to Steve. It's coming right. Oh, Adam's back.
But wait, I had to pee. So bad. So,
Are we on a phone call?
So Mr. Peabody came in first.
He did.
Eddie's in second. Metropolis is in third.
Let me ask Mr. Peabody. I was going to give away a Pizza Time Theater mouse pad, which, we could sign. Or I could give away one of these Donkey Kong posters.
Donkey Kong poster from Steve Wiebe.
Signed by Steve Wiebe.
Really?
Yep. And it was Saturday, July 11th, back in 20-something. But anyway, he signed it. But I can give that away. Or I can give you a mouse pad. Whatever you want.
Mr. Peabody says he will take the poster.
Sweet. Okay, I will get that set up. Mr. Peabody, I have your address from previous winnings. And we also have to talk about getting that Journey control panel all squared away because I'm ready to get going on that.
Oh.
Is that breaking news in the chat there? Southern Fried Gaming Expo?
It happened to I think it was yesterday. Preston posted about it.
I'd really like to go to that. I was planning on going to it this year, but I guess I'm not.
He was pretty. He's like, who wants to get drunk?
Well, we could do that. We should have a giant Zoom.
And we already did that. Yeah, let's block the passwords down before. Steve, you totally. We created a Zoom, to have arcade people, hang out, not like the show.
Yeah.
And then it was terrible. There were bad things.
And then,
I'll tell you later.
like, some naked guy jumped on and Adam bailed.
Oh. And then Brian saved the day and kicked him out.
Scrambled.
Hey, let's listen to some voicemails. What do you guys think?
There's one for you. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You may have a couple, actually.
I'll look. I'm going to go look.
There's one on a drive, and then there's one in the real place.
Google Voice dot whatever dot. Okay, here we go. So
I have to change a keg. I'll be right back.
No way.
He's changing a keg.
I blew the keg.
He blew a
There's only
keg.
3 beers left in it, I guess.
Okay,
That's hilarious. All right. Oh my God, that's hilarious.
That is hilarious.
I'm doing a show and I blew a keg. Like, it would take me days. All right.
How long has that beer been waiting?
This is going to be the shortest voicemail ever.
All right.
All right, here we go. All right.
Thank you for calling 612-548-GAME. This is Arcade Radio. Please leave your message after the tone.
Yo, it's Ty. He told me to call you. So am I just leaving a message? Is that what's happening? I'm so lonely now. All right, bye.
That's the whole message. Oh, shit. What the hell is that?
How come your dog's not up with you?
I don't know.
There's a home invasion in Adam's
I'm
house.
having a home invasion. All right, hang on.
Somebody's avoiding your house.
You guys, fill in. I'm going to find out what the dog's doing.
Okay.
Fill in. Well, wait. Adam is getting swatted. That would be freaking hilarious. That would actually be...
He would not be happy with that.
Well, no, he wouldn't. But I do think one of these nights I should, come up with an imposter here. Maybe I could, do this, and then Billy Seven and I can go set up a generator and play Exterminator out front of Adam's house.
That'd be good. All right. That was good for me.
That's not very damn funny.
Welcome, you're back. That was a good one. Okay, so in the tab, you can see there's another voicemail, but in a special place.
Oh, I like...
Save file.
You put it in a special place.
Up your butt. Wait, no.
I do agree, Brian.
I haven't heard this either.
Here we go.
Hi, Arcade Radio. This is Mr. Hanky, the Christmas poo. I wanted to call in and ask a question from my good friend, Steve Barbie. Steve, what is your favorite black and white arcade game? And please tell us why you love it so much. This is Mr. Hanky saying, howdy ho! Bye, Arcade Radio.
Did I just play 27 seconds of nothing, or did somebody hear that?
I heard it.
I heard it.
Where's Brian?
I'm here.
Brian's right there.
Oh.
Brian Frober is telling me that having you swatted is illegal, which I do know.
Now, yes.
Maybe Billy Seven and I will have to get some SWAT team uniforms and show up in the middle of the show. I'm sure we could battering ram down Adam's front door. He'd be so happy.
If I remember correctly, Bob Zarzadek has a SWAT team uniform that he's wearing.
That is true. All right. He could probably hook us up.
You can hear Steve changing the
keg.
The keg. It's dragging it around.
It's like, oh, I need more beer.
I wonder what beer that is.
I should switch to beer. By the way, it's my Friday night tonight, everybody. So I don't.
Oh, lucky.
Yeah, the company made me take mandatory PTO.
So it's my Thursday because I go with regular days, but
do you go to
as
work?
of Friday I don't have to work, but Saturday I start work, and then I don't finish work until the 15th of June.
Oh my God, Brian! Today,
No.
I was I was going through my stuff after work, and I'm like, I forgot to give you the freaking coin door for Mousetrap.
I have Star Wars shit to take in.
Nice.
So should I put that in? Should I put that in there? I guess.
So
what?
So the deal here is that I have a good. So for people in Minneapolis or nearby, I've got a great powder coater that doesn't charge us a lot of money, but seems to charge everybody else more money. So every time I do a powder coater run now, like 3 or 4 people are like, "Hey,
Brian Armitage is a dick."
Listen, that's the last time I fill for you, buddy.
What? I just was calling Scotty. I've
got a nice Mousetrap control panel back here that is not powder coated that may be showing up at your house. And that powder coated one may be staying here.
I hate you.
I've done the same thing.
To me,
Steve, what beer merited a new keg? Which one is it?
Coors Light. I'm always Coors Light.
That's right. I should know that. Now,
I tried drinking one of these.
Right.
And I just couldn't handle it. So
I mean, I'm
much happier right now.
And has that keg been has nobody been tapping it for is that a word? For 2 months, or have private things happened, or
there's been a little bit. So yeah, no, they've been moving.
Right.
Yeah. But minimally, very minimally.
All
pretty
right.
much just
Oh, how's that that terrible yogurt place to the side of you? How come you didn't go into that? You know the one?
Yeah. We will never Grinkers will never grow beyond this size. This is the right correct size.
Okay.
I feel like every time we expanded, I always felt lopsided. But with this last expansion, I finally felt like we had balance. So I kind of both sides of the counter. So like to the left side of the bar is our most recent expansion, right? And if you think about the distance from the bar to the left side compared to the bar back, there's both a more similar amount of travel.
Yeah.
True.
It used to be that you'd leave if you went to the left from the bar, you'd hit a wall, in 5 games.
Yeah.
So no, I like it this size. So even if space became available and it was free, I probably still wouldn't do it.
Smart.
All right, let's move on to the interview.
Oh.
Who were they?
We have to play sounds before we can actually ask questions.
Oh, I'm sorry, I jumped ahead.
Yeah. Well, it's okay.
So many questions.
We love Stevie. This is his 3rd appearance on the show.
Yeah.
Second and a half. I think I really.
It was really short.
The last one was a little short. We're counting it as a 3rd.
I have to be on like the top 10. The bottom 10% of like efficient show guests.
Okay, here's the funny thing, Steve. You were not the worst. You want to know who was?
Who?
Brian Colin.
Oh yeah.
He fell asleep like the day of. He tells us he's so excited to be on the show. He's going to be on the show. And we're excited because he's going to be on the show. And he has all this stuff. Xenophobe.
Maybe.
Go ahead, Brian.
Maybe Brian Colin's like little air, like duct shaft to his nose just wasn't in that day.
But
So he was breathing the fumes from the car.
So he's... You got to listen to that episode to understand that joke. But anyway... The funny thing is, oh my gosh, that's hilarious. Or Gomez. Listen to Gomez's show.
So Gomez told us that Brian used to drive a car with a dryer duct to his nose so they didn't have to breathe the fumes from the exhaust in the car.
Right.
And the dryer duct reached outside.
Right. Yeah, it was fabulous. So he had this. You imagine some dryer tubing going out the top of your car. You cut a hole in the top of your car so you can breathe. That is dedication to driving. Like, I can't fix my manifold or my exhaust, so I'm going to just put a pipe and drain fresh air out of the top of the car. Like, that's brilliant. That's engineering right there. That's what that is. So anyway,
that reminds me of my dad. So really quick shout out to my dad. He was one of those guys that would just like do whatever he wanted, and like I remember we drove down a hill with lumber on top of the car. And we got halfway down the hill, and he had to just apply a little bit of brake for whatever reason. But between the little bit of brake and the downhill, all the lumber went flying off the front of the car into the street. It was amazing.
Oh man.
So Brian decides, he's going to do the show, and I'm super excited because I met him at MGC, and he has a Rampage. He did Rampage. It's it's a iconic game, late 80s, whatever. And he's taking care of his dad, and he falls asleep on the couch. I get a call mid-show, like right around the time we're supposed to pick up, but he's, we're still figuring out this whole Skype thing, and it was a mess. It took a while for him to get on. Anyway, this is nothing like that. You're doing great, Steve. What I'm telling you is you're better than Brian Colin.
Thank you. That's good to know. I feel less bad now. I appreciate that.
I understand that Grinkers is allowed to reopen. Can you tell us what that looks like?
Yeah, sure. The high level version is we open on this Saturday at 1 p.m. We'll be open until midnight. We'll be open Sunday from I think it's also 1. It's same opening time, so it's 1 to 9 on Sundays. Close Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 4 p.m. to 11 p.m. Friday, 4 p.m. to midnight, and then that cycle is going to repeat for a few weeks, and we're at 30% of our capacity. So
okay.
we're doing reservation only, and that's the high level version.
Now that's interesting because you're not just going to let people come in from the public; they have to call.
Oh yeah, yep. We're changing the model. So we're it's actually interesting that the invitation for this show came on the same day that we announced to the world what we're doing, and so we are. It's kind of hard to explain the new model, but I guess at one layer you could interpret it as being more like 1984 Kalen's arcade, where we're still open, but we're opening less and for fewer people, and so because one of the big challenges that we have is we're a close quarters environment. We're a high touch environment, and that's like the worst environment that you can have, right? So it's worse than movie theaters. Movie theaters are like, oh, nobody's going to want to go to the movies. We're like movie theaters with add high frequency touch where everybody else is touching.
Right.
So it's a really bad combination. So the transparent, honest truth is, does the business remain a viable concept, right? And when you're faced with the challenge that's like, hey, is this going to be a viable concept? You start trying to come up with scenarios that will address that. And the scenario that we're figuring out right now is essentially, and I think referencing 1984 is probably a little bit too much of an extreme example. I want to try and find maybe a hybrid between that and what Grinkers was previously, but just with people that know the place and people that we know. So over the last year, we've been requiring identification in order to enter. And so we know who our guests are. So we're approaching them and saying, hey, come be a part of the kind of the Grinkers Underground, and make it a more intimate affair with the people that are already on board, and kind of just kind of handle it that way, because I think it is more sustainable.
Now the interesting thing is
that's like I know it's from my perspective, that's less like a bombshell piece of information that it's like, for us, it's like a whole other phase, right? So it's like a lifetime, or like chapters, you know what I mean? This is definitely a situation where Grinkers is turning a page to a new chapter, and it's I know that's an idiom that's often used, but I think it's appropriate here because it reflects what I really look at it as happening. I think Grinkers is turning the page to a new chapter, and we're going to have to see how it works out.
Now, I think this is actually okay news for Grinkfest people, though, because that's sort of a private event anyway.
Yeah, this change won't affect Grinkfest at all. It'll be what happened last year. You guys don't realize it. I think some of you realize it, but last year we have I don't like to have different rules for different things. If I want rules, I want to be consistent with it, right? And so what we did last year is we took the money that you guys paid for the tournament and the prizes and stuff, the T-shirts and all that stuff, all the swag. You guys didn't actually buy that stuff. What actually happened was I sponsored the swag, and then the money that you guys paid, I used to apply towards buying you guys all access. So, because nobody gets in for free, right? I can't say, oh, I'm inviting 100 of my buddies from out of town and they're exempt from the rules. So I took your money and used it to technically follow the rules, and then just paid for the swag on the side. So we would do the same thing again this year, which of course is uncertain. We would all love for Grinkfest to happen, but I'm not in a position where I can come out and say, oh yeah, we're doing it for sure, it's 100%. I can tell you I'd love to do it 100%, but I can't predict the future, right? It really is going to all depend on what happens in the next 2-4 months. We'll see what happens.
I will say that I've been following the curve in Idaho compared to other states, and the number of deaths is way lower than Idaho. Also, you have a lower population, so that helps.
The big problem is going to be whether or not we want you here.
Yeah, because we're coming from elsewhere.
Exactly.
Right. So
we're coming from Fort Lauderdale.
Right. And so if there's again transparency and just being forthright, if we're in a position where the state of Idaho is like, we don't, it's like right now there's technically a 12-day quarantine. And if there's technically a 12-day quarantine in October, I can't just have you guys come here and be like, we're just going to ignore that. I mean, maybe I could. It just depends on what the heck happens. Like, you have businesses opening up like against the rules, and other people being like F you to everything, and other people like, yeah, we're on board and you guys suck. The whole world is like psycho.
Yeah.
And so how can anybody predict anything right now, right?
Well,
it's just one day at a time, and that's what we're doing.
And arcades are the absolute worst place, because we talk about this all the time on the show. We love arcades. At least our generation loves arcades because of the social element, and so you're all brought together because of these things you want to play, and you want to drop a quarter in, and of course, Grinkers operates on quarters.
We're sanitizing our quarters.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Every time we collect, well, because we have to we have to accommodate the people that want to be careful, right? So our clientele, I shouldn't even say it that way, are the people that hang out here are going to be from a diverse group along that spectrum, right? And so it makes sense to, if they're more careful, show them that you're being more careful. It's just a courteous thing to do for people, right? So we're going to collect the quarters. When we collect the quarters from the games, we're just going to dump them in a bucket of sanitizer. Same thing we use to sanitize like dishes and stuff. And then we're going to dump them out into a rack, and we're gonna video it.
Oh my God.
We're gonna video the process, and we're gonna make it an ad.
That's awesome.
Come. Actually, we're not gonna do that because we're not gonna be publishing anymore or like really pushing it.
Sure.
In one of the scenarios in my head, I planned on making that an ad where we'd have like a little 3-second YouTube pre-roll, geo-targeted to just like the Treasure Valley area, and just have it be like quarters smashing into a bucket and then dumping into a grate, and then Grinkers logo with where even the quarters are sanitized or something,
Nice.
But yeah, we are going to do that anyway, just because.
Why not?
The other element is the government is supposed to be, or is contemplating, giving small businesses immunity from lawsuits if anybody can trace you back to, hey, I got sick there, and Grinkers wasn't like being good. There's liability, financial liability, legal liability, and so we need to be able to. The best defense, I think, if anything like that happened, the best defense for that is going to be able to say, hey, look at all these protocols we have, right? We were doing the right thing. And if there's no negligence, I think that we would survive something like that. So I think it's just prudent to do stuff like that to protect yourself legally.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's... Go ahead, Brian.
It's really crazy. I mean, it's a whole new world. We have no idea what this is going to look like. And as things go forward, as we learn more, like things are going to constantly change. And that's one of the things that's a problem. And for businesses, that's a disaster, especially businesses like yours, that's a disaster because you work on like, here's what my projections are, here's what I'm expecting. And yet September could come along and they could say, yeah, we're only allowed 20 people in your space. And that's... Yeah, that's terrible.
Yeah, it's absolutely terrible. It's out of control. It's I'm apolitical on the whole everything. So every argument, I'm apolitical on all of it. I think.
Nice.
I think that we're overdue for. I call it the logic party. So we have the Republican Party, we have the Democratic Party. Somebody needs to create the logic party where we just look at everything from a logical standpoint without the color of politics and stupid shit. Yeah, it's like why can't it's embarrassing, in my opinion, it's embarrassing to our species that we're unable to have on both sides effective governance. It's stupid. I tell my kids, look at it from the perspective of like if you were like a superior alien species and you came to Earth and you like observed what was going on, the first things out of your mouth would be, okay, so they're all divided up into these different countries. It's pretty fucked up, and they kill each other routinely. That's pretty fucked up. And then they all have different financial systems. They don't actually have the same. You have to exchange and do different things. And they bicker over languages, and they bicker over things, and it's not a productive society. Like there's like a half of our society, or half of what we are is amazing, and the other half of what we are is ridiculously stupid, and we need to fix that ridiculously stupid part as a species, in my opinion. Sorry, I know this is not. This is an arcade channel.
I'm with you, dude. I totally buy into that outlook, and
I like it.
The Logic Party.
Yeah, and I think that would be great because there's the polarization is what's killing us. It'd be great to have a medium, where we understand each other because of simple logic. The Mr. Spock party. That's what I'm calling it.
That'd be good.
Yeah.
I would love that, where you don't have to talk to anybody and you just sort of, you acknowledge them when you walk by. You don't have to say hello.
Does the party get whatever stun hold, whatever?
Yeah.
I want that.
It's a neck grip.
The dolphin.
I was never a Trekkie.
Death grip? Vulcan death grip?
The Vulcan death grip.
Really? Were you Star Wars? Is that what?
I don't know why. I just never got into it.
Which is weird because you're more of an engineer type.
I know it's an odd thing, but I am a conundrum. So Steve, you've been you have a bunch of stuff up on for sale now. You've been selling a bunch of games off it. Tell us about that some.
So there's 3 locations of games: Grinkers, My House, and the Warehouse. And the games that are on Clav and elsewhere are from the Warehouse. So one of the things I want to do is make a movie, actually. So I'm going to, I'm making room in the Warehouse so that the Warehouse can function as a set studio. But also, there's a big secondary motivation, which is cash, right? So you get, I'm in an environment where, without being too transparent, I'm in an environment where you go from oh yeah, I'm rocking it to holy fuck, what's happening? And it's a massive financial swing. On multiple fronts. The only thing that's doing good for me right now is crypto. So I've got shit, and then crypto.
That is awesome.
Yep. And so I'm good on crypto. I'm good on having that buffer of games in storage that creates some nice cash flow, and gives me space for the movie. I actually had one of the Grinkers staff members is a designer. And she modeled the ships for me already, and we're gonna have it's gonna be a B. It'll be a B movie. It's not gonna be good, but I'm gonna make it right. I'm gonna make the whole thing, and it's gonna be. I'm gonna own the fact that we're shooting models, in bad stop motion, and we'll have practical smoke effects, and we'll have CGI lasers, but we're gonna make this movie, and I'm gonna have a lot of fun with it. So I'm looking forward to that.
Nice.
Billy Seven just asked if it was gonna be Joysticks 2, and then Smokinator suggested Debbie plays Zaxxon.
No, it's gonna be apocalyptic space.
Nice. I almost feel like that could be the main title and a subtitle. Joysticks 2, Debbie plays Zaxxon.
Oh, man. Oh, and going back to your whole crypto thing, I saw your whole farm of miners, I think. I don't know if you have them in multiple places, but that was so cool. I'm like, this is awesome. I ran 2 once, in 2013 and 14, and I mined 3 Bitcoin. And I thought I was badass, but then I saw what you did, and I'm like, oh, I am a chump.
Yeah, well, I would say to anybody, I would say, I would say start putting DCA, dollar cost average, into crypto. Put in $5 a week, or $10 a week, or $50 a week, whatever you can afford. I just say start buying a little bit of crypto. And then put it in, get a paper wallet, put it in an envelope, and give it to your grandkids. Just park it. I'm a hodler. I never sell, so I'm just holding and banking for the future. Hopefully.
Nice.
One of the funnier things that happened is my wife and I'm actually moving out to Denver in August, and we were saving up for me to take basically the year off and do another year of training. And our accountants kept saying, you need to invest the money, you need to invest the money, you need to invest money. And we just dragged our feet on it, didn't sign the documents. Then March hit, and we looked like the smartest people in the world right now.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, it's crazy out there. I'm cautiously optimistic about things. I think that there will be a big fight. I think the people will fight to bring things back. So I think that the only reason that our population has survived this long is because one character attribute that we do have that is strong is resilience, and that will probably save us here now too. It's just a question of how bad it gets before that resilience is able to kick in and save us.
Yep.
So we'll see what happens.
So give me a rundown. What do you have? Let's pitch some of your games that you're trying to sell to generate some cash. What are you getting rid of? Nothing.
I thank you. I don't want to pitch games to sell for cash on your show.
Well,
I can't. I decline to do that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Classy. Very classy, sir.
Very classy. Although I did buy a Tail Gunner 2 right before one of our Tail Gunner right before one of our shows.
I kind of want to buy that Eyes. I mean, I'm like, it is beautiful.
And you have a Boot Hill up there that I am dying for.
The Boot Hill has it's missing its back door with the bubble for the monitor. But other than that, it's complete. It's a cool game. I have a Boot Hill at home, and I wouldn't be selling that one without it. So if I didn't have it, rather. I love Boot Hill. I have a Gunfight too. Gunfight's the first one, right? And you can only play it with 2 people. And then Boot Hill's the second one, and you can play against the computer.
So I have a Gunfight, and what I'm thinking is I need to get the Boot Hill and get rid of the Gunfight. Is what I'm thinking.
I'm going to keep both at my house. I like Gunfight better because it's the OG, for me that's the raw beginning of it. But
it's like having a centipede and a millipede together, kind of.
Yeah, but exactly. But absolutely, if you could only have one, I would definitely go with Boot Hill so you could play against the computer.
So Netropolis is telling me to ask you if you have an exterminator so we can buy it and send it to Adam, since he's now back in the chat. This is a running joke. So I have an exterminator at my house, and every show...
We almost made it one episode without mentioning exterminator.
I either bring it up or Adam complains about it.
Is it dedicated?
It is a dedicated, yeah.
Nice. I know Island Pirate had an exterminator that looked really good. It was a cool looking exterminator, but it was a conversion. Exterminator, that's the one that has the little poof and the things fly out, right?
Yeah, it's got the bugs are flying at you. You've got the joysticks that rotate as well as go up and down. You have to pound stuff on the floor and shoot the bugs with your lasers out of your fingers.
Yep.
It's actually
cool, man.
So the funny thing about Exterminator, and this is kind of a funny thing, and I'm not going to sidetrack too much because Adam will start groaning and making weird noises.
Too late.
You can build an Exterminator board set for about $120, brand new. So if you burn ROMs, you can actually make the whole board set for about $120, $160. The tough part with Exterminator are the joysticks, which are have rotation as well as the analog movement. So, anyways, I have plugged Exterminator for the show. So, Steve, is there anything that you're so you're selling stuff off? Is there anything you're looking for?
Yeah, what are you looking
next
for?
Game.
Yeah, what?
Okay, good. Yeah, I will definitely pitch that 100%.
Yes.
I'm 100% on that. I need a Lunar Rescue, Tato Lunar Rescue. It's the earlier generation Tato with the flat top.
Look at Brian. He's making the gesture.
I have a Lunar Rescue cocktail.
Oh.
I can't do a cocktail. The problem is that people in this environment, people will only sit down at Miss Pac,
yep.
Galaga, Donkey Kong, the main ones. Otherwise, they just won't sit down in it. We have a Space Firebird. That's a totally fun game. but nobody ever plays it.
I play it, but okay.
Like it's the
Mark.
original one was that 25-inch black and white monitor with the overlay, which is kind of cool. So what else are you looking for?
There's a specific game I'm thinking of. It is that was Tato.
Nintendo's.
No. Man.
No interest in Nintendo Hellfire.
Yoetti asked about Blaster.
Who has a Hellfire for sale?
Nobody, but is that what you're interested in?
Does it?
Well, I would definitely, I would 1,000% be interested in a Nintendo Hellfire. Yes.
Okay.
Like way over the top, but I don't picture that. I don't put that really on the achievable scale too much. You have one, don't you?
I do, yeah. I know a couple guys, and we're all like, we're really weird about our game, but
for
sure.
I've stopped putting stuff on the unachievable scale because every time I say there's no way I'm going to get this game, the shit shows up, and it's not a good thing. Like, normally that's a good thing, and it's gotten to the point where it's a bad thing. So I'm like, there's no way I'm going to find a Tail Gunner 2, and then my buddy's like, hey, I know a guy with a Tail Gunner 2. I didn't even tell you that.
Wow.
I know that there was recently I found a Space Fury. I was looking for a Space Fury for a long time, and we got a Space Fury. There's the Lunar Rescue that we were talking about. This is another game I know I'm looking for. I can't remember. There's Boxing Bugs. There's War of the Worlds. Any of those rare vectors. Any and every vector that I don't have, I would love to find.
Right.
I do have a War of the Worlds, but I'm not letting that one go.
Oh man, that's fantastic. That's great. You got a great collection, man. Wow.
It's a little different. It's a very odd collection.
Is there anything that you're looking for?
Let's see. I am Boot Hill. I keep trying to talk myself out of yours.
I'll give you 3 Boot Hills.
Wow.
Actually, the 2 games. So there's actually, this is really funny. One of our guests, Jesus, who is was on a few weeks ago, turned me on to a game that I am now pissed off that she did. This is Craterator, and I love games that break and have mirrors, and Craterator hits both of those. So that's one, and the other one, it is fascinating to me, is Golly Ghost. I would love a Golly Ghost. And I found a couple, but I've never been able to pull off actually finishing the deal. That game the whole idea of the electromechanical with the video overlay, to me, that's an amazing setup. Those are the games that I gravitate towards, are these ones that, if they break, you're fucked. I mean, you can't, right, there goes the child show, but you can't do anything.
You're way beyond that.
Yeah.
Right.
So, but those are the 2 that I really would love to. I'd love to get my hands on.
All right. Well, I'll keep an eye out for you. I don't think those are more unobtainium than Mark's game.
Well, this is what happens. Like I said, so actually, every now and then I'll say I want to get this game, and then 2 weeks later somebody says, "Oh, I have this." Cosmic Cruiser was one of those. I said I really want to get this game. 2 weeks later somebody's like, "Hey, I'll sell you the Cruiser," and so I've stopped. I keep trying to push it up a level, and that level keeps going. Somebody calls me and says, "Hey, I've got this game. Are you interested?" And it's shit. And then my wife is not thrilled about it. I know. But I'm selling 4 pinballs between tonight and tomorrow, so she's happy.
Sweet. Which one's it?
Starship Troopers, Hyperball, Rapid Fire, and Street Fighter 2. Nothing great.
That's a classic set of, I don't need those.
Yeah.
Especially Street Fighter 2. I owned a Street Fighter 2 for 4 months. I was like, sold,
Yeah. Fighting games.
The pinball Street Fighter 2.
Pinball games.
Right. I enjoyed the little, you beat up the little car under the thing. What's that?
Oh, Orbiter.
Oh, that's your dog.
Yeah, that's another one. Orbiter's a cool game. Chris Graham is commenting in the chat. Yeah.
I'm still looking for a Dragon Slayer, so one day.
I have one of those. So
You have one.
Right.
You're pointing above your Tempest. What do you? Wait, why is your Tempest off?
It's beyond your.
Your Tempest is off.
My 6100 died. Hold on.
No.
Yes.
Let's see. That's
Don't
shocking.
fix it. Oh man, we're gonna be able to go to the video of the show and back it up to see when it died.
That's hilarious. Let's see if I can turn it on and off and it goes.
He's got to hook up to Alexa probably.
Oh, there we go.
I am looking for the guts to a
It didn't even
cliffhanger.
turn off for a minute.
All right.
Cliffhanger. That's a tough one. That one I can keep an eye open for. It took me forever to find a Super Don Quixote. Forever to find one of those.
Now your Tempest is all the way off.
I know. I'm leaving it off for a minute. This is depressing.
Christopher says he smells smoke.
No. There's no smoke. I'm a little stuffed
I know.
up. I have a dry cough and I have a temperature.
So when I got the Omega race, it worked perfectly as soon as I fired it up. But Space Zap was dead upon arrival, and I learned that there's like 5 boards that go into the little.
Yeah.
Well, apparently I took them out and put them back in, but I needed to just shove harder. I did not know this. I was pushing down on one, and I'm like, oh, it went down a little bit more, and then it started. And I was like, yeah.
So how many times have you played Omega Race since you got it?
Omega Race about 5 times, and Space App about 3 times. Space App has a high score save kit, so it's pretty cool in that way. I'm thinking about it for this one, but...
Speaking of which, I need to quick do a shout out to High Score Saves. I got a, Centipede, Millipede, Super Breakout Warlords kit from him. And when I put the 6502 in, I think I bent one of the pins, one of the receiving pins, actually. So I don't know how that happens, but it wasn't working.
And he gave you another one.
Anyway, he's sending it back fixed with a 6502 in it gratis.
Ice cold beer.
It's pretty nice.
Steve changed the angle of stuff. I was like, what's that?
I'm trying to change the subject.
Oh.
Don't be too transparent. Okay, so...
Wait, so Steve, last time we were at Grinkers, you guys were just starting, you had built out the wall in front of that area, literally like the day of. Did you, like, is there air conditioning in there? Like, what did you eventually end up with in that little spot for entry?
So that was all about to happen the same time that we got shut down. So because until then it was still cold-ish, right? So we didn't need air conditioning. So we were going to put we had a guy come out and give us a quote, but that project got stopped. And so now we really don't have to worry about it because we're not staffing anybody up there, at least not for now, because the biggest risk we have is that we declare 30% occupancy, but then 200% occupancy shows up. There's an ice cream place somewhere in the country where they opened up their first day, and there was like tons and tons and tons of people showed up, and it was a bad scene. And like the customers were like screaming at the staff. We have to avoid that, right? We can't. So even if we weren't making our other changes, we'd still have to go reservation only, and we're going to lock the front door. So when we're telling people this weekend, we're telling people if you have a reservation, use the back door, or when you arrive, give us a call, and that prevents us from being bum rushed.
Right.
we can't. It's really easy to all of a sudden find yourself overwhelmed, right? And so if we don't take control before we start, we're at risk of all of a sudden just being like, oh wow, there's 300 people in here, and now we're on the news, and then we've just alienated half of our clientele, or half of our friends, half of our customers.
Right, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And I was following you like just before, like you had created some rules like every other game. Is that going to continue, or what's?
Yeah, so in Idaho, we're in phase 2 as of Saturday, and so to follow that rule set, there's going to be you're not allowed to play a game within 2 games of any other guest unless that person lives in your home.
Right.
And that's going to be self-imposed on the arcade games, and on the pinballs, we're turning off 2 in between because people won't have the self-control on the pinballs. They just won't. And that's only for a couple weeks. Well, it depends on what we do, like what we decide. So I would imagine that they're going to. I think the plan that most states have laid out is going to. It currently goes too far from a what's actually going to happen perspective. From an actually what's going to happen perspective, I think they're going to stop us about halfway and say that this, like every other table in the restaurant has to be closed. I think that part is probably going to last for, 6 months till spring. Who knows? But if that's true, if once the dust settles, they say, hey, this part needs to sustain, which is what I think is going to happen, which is, and then I don't know. Again, it comes back into we'll figure it out when we get there. But we're trying to follow the rules so we don't find ourselves in legal trouble if the worst case happens.
I actually kind of dig the reservation only model. I mean, what's your opinion on that? I mean, because like you had some trouble anyway, and now this gives you the opportunity to sort of dictate who comes into the establishment.
Well, exactly. It is to one extent, it's a natural progression of what we had already started. It's definitely a more extreme progression than what I had planned.
Yeah.
But I think with the combination of reduced occupancy and people being sketched out, I think it's I wouldn't be making the decision if I didn't think it was the right decision.
Sure.
And it's the best decision I can make with the information I have, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But my goal, just to be clear, my goal is for Grinkers to continue in perpetuity. I'm committed to finding the path that will work. But one thing I'm not going to do is go back to what it was. So it'll be an interesting another journey. But it's going to be cool. I am liking it. Honestly, there's a part of me that likes it a lot. There's a part of me that likes it a lot, and there's a part of me that is also sad because it's also nice when a kid can just like ride his bike up and it's like, oh, this place, and it's just really casual and informal. That's what we had, right? We had informal. But when people that abuse stuff come into play and this crazy economic situation comes into play, you adjust course and you do what you have to keep the good parts going. And that's what one thing I'm really trying to do is on the inside, nothing changes, right? So once you've gone through that process, once you're inside your home again, and I think that is going to be the key, right? So, fewer people, more intimate, reservation only, and a little bit more like I don't want to say exclusive, but more like this, you feel like you're part of something, and
Right.
that's what I want. That's what I'm shooting for. Is I want the people that are coming here to feel like they're part of Grinkers, and the people that are just kind of passing by, they really don't give it two cares. Then then it's okay. They can pass by, right? And so it's tough to do, but I think it's the right thing to do. So here we are.
Nice. I'm ready.
Yep. And hey, chatters, if I don't know how many of you've been to Grinkfest, but I've touted this many times, and I'm going to wrap up the show with this comment, but and Steve, stick with us because we want to talk with you a little bit afterward. But
okay.
The fact of the matter is, there are very few arcades like this that exist in the United States, if not the world. I mean, I heard of Grinkfest, a couple years after it started, and I got to come out there and be a part of that with our team live. The first year we did it live at the show at your establishment. And the thing that struck me is this is the arcade that if I could, and I don't know if I know I've told you this before, Steve, but if I could build an arcade and curate the games that you have at that arcade, which are, it's the Bronze Age to the Golden Age with a few smattering of 90s games and a decent number of pinball, but it is literally what I would want my arcade to be. Aside from your music selection sometimes, but otherwise, I really, really love.
Oh man, I was going to ask about the music selection.
No, I'm just kidding. But my point is that when you walk into this place, you feel that nostalgia, and especially Grinkfest is, and thanks to the Arcade Hangouts guys too, because, I mean, they really facilitate an event that allows us to really reach back to that time where we walked into Aladdin's Castle or Showbiz or wherever it was we're going at the time. And we're like, we may not have talked to each other because we didn't know each other, but we felt like it was a social situation. And this is a social environment. And we have our fingerprints all over these joysticks and control panels. And God bless God, Bob Zarzadek. Because
God bless God.
God bless God. God bless Bob Zarzadek because, he's the control panel expert, and he's probably, he's
been cleaning a lot of control panels.
He's been cleaning a lot of control panels. So the point is that if you have a chance to go to Grinkers this year at Grinkfest, if it happens, which it might not, we might be rolling back this whole situation in a couple months, or we might, and we have to all just be careful. And I might take a car instead of a plane. I don't know. But the point is that this is, to me, the best arcade in the United States.
Yes.
So I'm going to just rubber stamp that right now. You can't go anywhere else and play the games you have that are working. And Buffett and you and a whole staff of people go in to make these things work for Grinkfest. The weekend of, but largely they work year-round, and that is a feat in and of itself.
Buffett, Game Fixer, Blind Dog, Hat-Trick's dad, Mike, Les.
Mm-hmm.
There's a bunch of guys that put in a lot of work, and honestly, throughout the years, it's Grinkers is my place from I guess it's my place legally, but there's been a ton of people that have contributed here. People from Clav that have sold us games. People have sold us games that they weren't planning on selling because they thought it would be cool here, right? So there's been a fair amount of that, a good amount of that that's happened that has resulted in this place being able to grow into what it is. And so if you're one of those people that helped anywhere along the way, you guys know who you are, and you guys certainly deserve part of the credit for what is here, and I'm thankful to you.
By the way, in my arcade, whenever I turn the arcade on now, my lights are red.
Yes.
Nice.
It's the best. It's the best color.
Chris
I like
asked Chris asked if you have a gal's panic. We'll just keep moving. We'll just keep moving.
Why doesn't he ask that every week? Somebody asks that like every week. Who's got a gal's panic? Who the hell cares? If you need to look at porn, just go look at porn. You don't have to like try to unlock it with a kicks game. Like seriously.
It says he's moving to Idaho to become a quarter washer.
I love it.
You're hired.
Brian, do you have your tab open?
Listen, I'm waiting. It's right here. It's like big. It's like this. Adam's first, then me, then Mark, then Adam. I'm gonna get another beer.
Oh, he's just gonna exit stage left even.
Down on the floor. So he did it.
Well, he's got and
I got in 22 minutes. Somebody is coming to pick up my Street Fighter 2.
Oh,
all right.
That is, and hopefully under COVID rules.
Yes, he's already paid for it.
Just touch elbows.
Who's doing that? Who's picking it up?
Do we know? I hope it's still there.
Do we know?
Who's buying it?
Is it Paul Saarinen?
It is Paul. I know it's Paul.
It's not Paul. It's some guy coming in for. I don't know. You want really? I've got my tab open. I was.
Paul and him would just do it during the day.
I was actually thinking that it'd be. I might buy Paul's Area 51 because I actually like that game.
Aaron is coming from La Crosse.
Oh. It's a bit of a drive.
Oh, caution tape. Where are you gonna put that?
What's that?
He had caution tape. Steve had some caution tape. Yellow.
There we go.
What was it for? It's backwards.
We have to. I don't want to remove tables and chairs because it'll make the place look empty, right? So I'm just gonna tape them off.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That way you don't have to, change your layout. So.
Or just add a bunch of games there. Who the hell cares?
That would be a lot of work.
Yeah. Because you probably have to drop electricity and all that stuff. But
I one thing I've been struggling with. Hey, it's Mrs. Time Runner again. Hello, Mrs. Time Runner again. Shit. I did it. I don't even remember. I'm sorry, guys.
Oh no.
Well, on that note, maybe we should just wrap up. Which means
I need a tab.
All right. I just want to thank everyone again for listening this week on the Double R's. That's Arcade Radio.
I appreciate Adam taking a while, but I had it open. Like us at Facebook at Arcade Radio, or check us out at our semi-regularly updated blog at arcaderadio.com. That's RCADERADIO.com.
Call and leave comments and questions on the game line 612-548-GAME. That's 4263 in case you can't spell game. This is you, Adam.
Excuse me. Yes. So become a supporter of the show and visit patreon.com/arcaderadio. We have 3 levels right now: Arcade Cadet, Arcade Captain, and Arcade Colonel. You might know what the next 2 are, but we're just $1 a month, $2 a month, or $3 a month, and it would really help to keep things going for the show so we can pay for space and technology and all that stuff. Nobody gets paid on this show, but we'd appreciate anything you'd like to offer. Check out Patreon. Someone asked about that last week, so patreon.com/arcaderadio.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel and click the notification bell so you know when we're streaming live.
It's so weird.
You can also subscribe. What?
You guys should use super chats.
Yeah?
Super chat.
Oh, that sounds good. We'll do that next. Who?
Yeah, I'll super chat you guys.
All right.
Okay. Hey, you can also subscribe to our podcast on Anchor FM, iTunes, Google Play Music, and wherever podcasts are streamed.
Huh. Sweet. That means that's going to be it for this week. So from the Arcade Radio team to you, we hope you had a great time, and we'll see you the next episode. And here we go. Pants off.